Today we're working on the Sprinter van again, but it's going to be something super quick and super easy. So this is probably going to be the easiest install of anything that I've ever put on this van before. So if you've ever been off-road or you like going off-road, one of the biggest things that you have a challenge with is lighting to the side of the front of the van. So we have great lights on the front end from our headlights. Most of folks who also put on some auxiliary lights on the front, and that's great for the bumper. But what you don't get is the side lights. So you're sitting here and you want to look over this way. And with your normal lights, you don't get a perspective over off to the left or to the right of the cab. So that's where the ditch light comes in. On the Sprinter van, I don't think it can be possible for it to be simpler to put together. If this is something you're interested in, please stick around for the video. So there are a bunch of kits that are made for Sprinter vans to put ditch light brackets on. The one that we picked is from catuned. It's about $100, and it's super simple. And basically there are some studs on the hood, and we'll show you this in just a second, that the thing just bolts to. You don't have to take anything apart. You don't have to mess with anything. It comes with all the hardware you need, and it's literally just bolts on the stuff that's already there. One of the conflicts we did find is that since we put the hood strut kit on, the bracket from catuned, let me show you what I'm talking about. So this kit from Agile Off-Road, the bracket from catuned came in contact with that head. And so the way the bracket was kind of set, we had to make some modifications. So last night, I basically ground off the edge of it to make sure that it would provide enough clearance. And so with the way the bracket was formed, it had like a triangle. So there was an extra piece that came out like that. And we just had to shave that off on both sides, and then I just kind of painted it nice and white. So it matched the underside of the van and covered up all the where I had to grind things down and sand it. So like I said, literally these are super simple to install, and I'll kind of show you how it works real fast. So there's a right and a left bracket, and basically you take this piece and you slide it underneath the hood so that the top of the bracket is above the hood, and then basically it just fits right on the studs that already exist for the hinge, just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the ditch lights on first. So I got some KC highlights, Flexera 3s, and they're great because they have a backlight that's orange, but they throw out a lot of good light. I had them on my Jeep and they're super happy with them. So we're gonna mount them to the bracket so the light goes right there. And so we're gonna mount them to the bracket, and then we'll show you how they get installed, and then show you how it looks when we're done. All right, we got the lights set up on there. It's just a 11/16 bolt that goes straight through. And we'll show you how we kind of put them on the van. Like I said, it's super simple. Basically, you just feed the bracket in like I showed you before, and put the two 13mm bolts or nuts on the studs that already exist on the hood. All right, we're just going to take this bracket, feed it in just like I showed you, and then we're going to take the two 13mm concentric nuts and bolt it down. It would help if I got the right side. That's it. Super simple. So it helps to install that light first because the clearance is really tight between the stud on your light and the hood itself. So I'm going to get the other one installed, and we'll kind of talk about how we're going to connect the power. All right, as simple as that. And you can see where I had to make that cut so that it clearanced this shock. So if you have those shocks on your hood, you just got to be cognizant of the bracket. It may need some clearancing for what you're doing. Pretty simple install, and here's what they look like. You can see they're angled off to the side, so we have the ability to angle them up and down all around. There's some adjustments right here that allow us to make the tilt, and we'll look at that at nighttime to kind of see where the best field is. But basically we aligned the front of the light with the bracket so that it was in a line this way. Super simple. And one of the nice things about this bracket is it also came with some zip tie holes. So there are 2 holes in the bracket for what I'm using as zip ties to kind of get the connector. And so how are we going to connect this to the van? Well, I have a Garmin power switch right there. And we're basically just going to plug the harness into the Garmin power switch. I already have it wired up. And then we're just going to make the basic weatherproof connection. One of the things that's nice about the light is it has the full ditch light feature, and then it has a backlight feature. And since I have the Garmin power switch, we put the power feed in for the light into one button, and the power feed for the running light or the backlight and another button, so we can run the backlight just because it's cool if we want to. So pretty happy with how everything is going, and let's get the connections and turn the lights on. All right, in my case, the wiring just kind of tucks up really neatly for me. So it flows down here and it's gonna stay bundled behind here. The second piece comes up right here, and then everything else ties into the power switch. So here's my app on my phone, and we'll turn on the backlight first. And that's pretty much how it works. All right, really happy. So both of the lights are wired together, so they come on at the same time, both the backlights and the regular lights. Like I said, this is probably one of the easiest installs to get the brackets in place. And installing the lights is really simple too. The Garmin power switch really makes a difference. Just so you can use the S-Pod, you can use a bunch of different devices that help you kind of make those connections. I like the Garmin setup. It's good for me, so I like the app on the phone. It's just a nice quick connection for everything. So again, this is the installation of catuned ditch light brackets on your Sprinter van with some KC highlights, Flex Era 3 ditch lights with a Garmin power switch, all kind of put together. So just it goes to show you, it's super easy to do. The brackets I think are cool, and once it gets dark and we get out on a trail, we'll be able to angle the light so it just kind of gives us the light that we're actually looking for on the sides, so that we can see side to side. So if you made it this far, give yourself a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Please take a look at some of our other videos, and maybe hang around and check out some of the new videos that will be coming as we continue up for our van. Thanks, this is Dan from Rambling Ambition, and we'll see you next time.